Today we will talk about the Fednow payment system. Many of you might have heard of this new Fednow system. TikTok is rampant, with lots of people warning about this Fednow program that's poised to disrupt the world order. The US banking nightmare is about to get worse. It's Armageddon on Earth, etc, etc. The worry is Fednow is allegedly a way for the federal government to control your money. There's claims that Fednow is an invasion of privacy. Uninformed commenters on the internet are claiming the Fednow program will one day be used to stop people from purchasing stuff the US government doesn't approve of. Some have gone as far as saying this Fednow payment system will give the government power to monitor, freeze, or even seize bank accounts for political beliefs that don't align with the state. Of course, all of this is pure nonsense. The Fednow payment system is a digital system created by the Federal Reserve. Fednow's core feature is to make sure payments arrive in their accounts faster. Its clearing and settlement features will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. It'll always be available, basically. Fednow improves the older, outdated systems for banks. With it, Fednow will give banks and credit unions the ability to transfer funds to their customers. This on-demand, real-time clearing and settlement system between banks will help facilitate faster payments. As more banks join Fednow's network, it will enable individuals and businesses to receive a paycheck immediately. Any company will be able to access funds right away when an invoice is paid. Now, consumers like you or I won't be able to access Fednow using an app because the Fednow service was created for banks. You can think of the Fednow service as something banks will use to ensure your money arrives in your bank account faster. Participating banks are expected to offer Fednow services soon. Fednow isn't meant to replace payment apps like PayPal, Apple Pay, your Cash App, or Venmo. The new payment system is designed to slot into the financial system as an optional alternative to other payments. The only way to access Fednow is through your own bank. Banks need to actually choose to sign up to use the Fednow payment system. Over 35 American banks, including JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo, are planning on offering Fednow services. You might question why the banks would need Fednow when they've already banded together to create their own finance app called Zelle. That's because in a few ways, Fednow is better than Zelle. This is an anomaly. Usually, services created by the government tend to underperform compared to other services created by private companies. When you send money using Zelle, the payment might take up to a few days. With Fednow, you can make payments within seconds. If you deposit your money into your bank account from Venmo or Cash App, it might even take a few business days before it appears in your bank account. If there's a holiday, the delays will be longer. Fednow solves this problem by ensuring the money reaches your bank account faster, ideally within seconds. It doesn't end with quicker transactions with Zelle either. Whether you're cashing in a check, initiating a direct deposit, Fednow will ensure the process is faster. After Fednow's rollout, if your boss sends you your paycheck through Fednow, the paycheck will clear in seconds rather than days. If you forgot to pay rent until the last minute, you won't have to try sending it late at night and still be late on rent because the payment won't clear until the next business day. With Fednow, you can send your rental payment late and it will clear within seconds. One claim that haters of the Fednow payment system tend to put out there is that it might replace cold hard cash. The Federal Reserve has debunked that claim. The Fednow service isn't a form of currency or a step forward towards eliminating any cash payments. The Federal Reserve has always had payment services that banks use, like the FedWire or FedACH. Now, there's some confusion regarding whether the Fednow might become a digital currency similar to cryptocurrencies but with more control. The Federal Reserve has been toying with the idea of creating what's called a CBDC, a central bank digital currency, for years now. The idea follows the popularity of cryptos and China's own digital currency called the digital renminbi or the digital yen. China has clear authoritarian goals of controlling their citizens further with the release of its digital yuan. That is concerning to many. There might be some cause to believe that America is also trying to do the same thing. Many other countries have jumped on the digital currency bandwagon. India, the Bahamas, and Nigeria have all launched their own versions of CBDCs. No one wants to get left behind when there's potential cost savings to be had. To date, the Federal Reserve has only been thinking about making a CBDC, but no official decision has been reached yet. This has been confirmed by Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chair himself. Releasing a CBDC is something that requires authorization by American laws. If an American CBDC was authorized, we would know about it by now. For those excited for this Fednow service, first of all, it's a payment service. There's nothing too exciting here. Second, Fednow might be live right now, but it will take some some time, perhaps up to a few years, before your bank makes it available to you. JP Morgan Chase might incorporate Fednow into its system soon, simply because they're expected to. They definitely don't want to skip out on being an early adopter of Fednow when not using it would lead to a loss of market share. No matter how small the loss is, there's no way JP Morgan Chase is willing to risk it. I hope you liked the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's much appreciated.